Hey there, it's Alan from We Can Code It, and we are in Module 5. And what we're going to do in this video series is build out this courses project that we have here. And this is a great model for what you're going to be expected to do on the Module 5 project. And we're going to go into this with the assumption that you've reviewed this MVC and IntelliJ demo project. So you've had a little bit of experience playing around with Spring inside of IntelliJ. And there's a couple of links here. The Spring Initializer, useful for building out a project. As you've seen before, and you'll see again here, we're going to build this out strictly through the Spring Initializer built into an IntelliJ, so you don't actually need this link, but it's a good reference. And let's go ahead and take a look at our project. So we're going to create a sample MVC application here, and we are going to display a list of courses. A course like an English course or a math course or a computer programming course. And then when you click on the link for that particular course, you'll go into a single page template view that gives you information about that course. So we'll see the all and then the one. And so we're going to build out a popular design pattern here with find all and find one with our courses. A reminder of the annotations that we'll use in this tutorial, and also some of the popular annotations you'll use throughout the bootcamp as you work on Spring projects. And we'll also highlight this model here, and we'll explain that more when we get there, but it's going to be a really important piece of the puzzle that connects our Java code to our Timeleaf templates. So those definitions, or little brief descriptions of what we're using there in the project. We'll, again, just like in the practice MVC demo video, we're going to use DevTools, Web, and Timeleaf as our dependencies. And we don't actually need to do the bash Gradle Eclipse command here because we are going through IntelliJ, so we won't have to do any of the imports. So we're going to end up building a course POJO, or a plain old Java object, a course repository that will house our database and set up our find one, find all methods, and then a controller. And this will control our access to the templates on the web. What we've done here to save a little bit of time is given you the HTML for the two template files that we're using, courses.html, which I think I'm going to rename this in the project to courses template, just to make it a little easier for you to follow along with regards to naming conventions. So we'll just copy and paste that code in there. And then the course template.html will contain this code. And so we'll build that in, and then we'll leave you to do the stretch tasks on your own. So in this particular video, we're just going to set the project up. We're not going to do any coding yet, and we'll hit that in the next video. So I'm going to go ahead and get into IntelliJ. So here we are in IntelliJ, and let's go ahead and create a new project. And I want to use the Spring Initializer here. Make sure that this is a Gradle project. That's looking pretty good. I'll hit next. All right, we are in our dependencies section here. So with our developer tools, we'll use the Spring Dev Tools. We'll use Spring Web, and we're going to use Timeleaf. So there's our dependencies. Everything's looking good, and we'll finish. See if I can fit this in the window here. There we go. All right, so there's our courses project, and just as a reminder from our Module 5 material here, the intro section really does a deep dive into explaining how those dependencies are brought in and what they're doing. So strongly recommend that you start there. And we can check and expand our external libraries. We see a lot of stuff here, so that's a good sign that our dependencies have imported properly. We can go into our courses project here and we can see our file structure. And we're going to be living in our source code here, this src file, floating between main and test. So we're going to test drive this application. You can check our build.gradle. And the last thing we want to do here in project setup is just fire up our server just to make sure everything's working. So we can go into main, Java, our We Can Code It courses package, and there's our application. And so let's just go ahead and hit run and run this project. All right, and you can see in our console here that we have a server started on port 8080. So we're up and running with our Spring project. That's good news. Everything integrated properly. And if you get to this point, you're ready to move on to the next video where we'll actually start test driving our course repository class. So we'll see you in the next video.